everyone, welcome back to my channel, and if you're new, welcome. My name is Meg, and today we're doing a chit chat. Get ready with me. Alright, so today's video, I'm just gonna sit here, do my makeup, we're gonna chat. I have some things to say about the Bachelorette, so if you're here for that, we will be getting into it soon. I already have my base done just to save time, so today we're basically gonna focus on eyeshadow. I wanna do fall vibes, like olive green, so we will be getting into that now. I think for today's look, I'm gonna be using a combination of the Nikki Tutorials palette and then also this Jaclyn Hill palette, which again, like, we've all been through it with these, but this is a Dark Magic palette because it just has my vibe in here. I actually haven't used these in over a year, so I'm interested to dip back in and see what my thoughts on it a year later is. So let's zoom y'all in. And if you guys are interested in a review or swatches with the Nikki palette, I will have it linked up above throughout the video. And it will also be linked down below in the description box. That's what's like some discount stuff down there. I don't make money off of any of my links down there. And if I do, it would be marked. So my coffee is kicking in. So I apologize if this is a super ADHD kind of video. So what I'm going to do first is put Mila all over the lid lightly. I'm not going to dip into it too much, and then I might use a little bit of 5 a.m. and then get into the green, so we'll see how this goes. But yesterday I uploaded my very late Libra video. If you are new here, I do astrology makeup, and my Libra season video was very, very delayed, and I will explain why in a second. I know people are gonna be like, oh, I don't care. So Scorpio should be out next week. That is what I'm aiming for. I'm aiming to like film it tomorrow, so it is ready and good to go to be uploaded probably Tuesday. So be sure to subscribe so you don't miss out on that if you're into astrology. By the way, would you like to see more like makeup astrology related videos? Anything like that? If you have any requests about astrology, if you want to learn more about it, like what are your questions with it, leave it in the comments down below, because that would actually help me out quite a bit to know what your guys' interest is. So my Libra video, I actually had done at the beginning of the year because it was originally going to be my Aries look, and then I was like, this screams Libra, okay? Like, I'm an Aries sun, but my rising is Libra, so I do tend to relate a lot and lean in towards Libra vibes. So I was like, this is such a Libra look, like I'm gonna save this, and I already have that part done, nice and easy. So I went to go edit it a few weeks ago to be on top of my game, because I've been really good at posting these videos as soon as the season hits, and I accidentally deleted the footage. Like, that is a me thing to do. I'm not very surprised by that, so I had to refilm it, which was fine because I ended up using crystal freckles, and I only had large size crystals when I originally filmed the look, so I was like, I need to get some smaller ones. So I just ordered this off Amazon. I think it was like $5 to $7. Just type in like gemstones or crystals and this pops up. So Luna is over here by my side, and unfortunately at the beginning of October my cousin passed away. So that's mainly what I've been dealing with. I've been off of social media since the end of September, and I know I was saying in my last couple of videos, like, Halloween is going to be so good this year. I can't wait. I have so much stuff to share with you guys. And then that literally happened, and I was not in the mental headspace to be putting content out, to even want to upload. Like, I wasn't excited, and I didn't want to put content out when I wasn't feeling excited, if that makes sense. So I'm sorry for those of you that were looking forward to Halloween on my channel. I did have several looks planned that I'm just probably going to save and build on for next year, if I'm being honest. I just was not in the headspace to sit down and edit all these intricate looks, so I'm sorry if you were disappointed by that. I know like death is always unexpected, right? But it's just like my cousin was the same age as me, so it's just been hard. Like, he was my best friend growing up because I grew up in the country, like in the middle of nowhere. Like, there was no neighborhood, there were no neighborhood kids. I'm an only child, so my cousin, like, we did everything together. He was 6 months younger than I am. We were literally best friends when we were little kids. Every time I would be doing something with my family, I'd be asking my mom, is Steve coming? So, you know, we were very close when we were kids growing up, and then into adulthood. Even though he was 6 months younger than me, he was still very much like an older brother figure. He was very protective. He always like had my back when it came to things, and he stood up for me a lot. So it was just really hard having to deal with that. And then especially in this year during 2020, I live across the country from my family, and it's just like this feeling of like loneliness and isolation that we've all been feeling all year is just that much more amplified when there's a tragedy that happens in your family and you literally can't be with your family. Because of the pandemic, I was not comfortable traveling and going to a funeral. So I didn't get to say my final goodbyes. And I feel like that in itself is like traumatic to have to go through, because you're literally not getting that closure. At least that's how it felt for me. And I was also processing things and going through a lot because on my mom's side of the family, in the last 7 years, we've had 5 people pass away, and 4 of those 5 people passed away extremely prematurely. So it's like every time someone passes away in my family now, it's like this completely different and whole new trauma response. So I just really needed to take a break, take time for myself. I'm still working on it. I'm just now starting to feel a little bit better and feel a little bit more like myself. So that is where I am with everything. Where I've been for the last month, why I've been quiet. So I just wanted to talk about that and just know, like, if you're going through something hard, because 2020 has not been easy for anyone, do things for yourself. You know what I mean? Like, take the time. Like, what do you need to heal? What do you need to process things? If it means taking a social media break, if it means, you know, kind of isolating yourself, that's what I do. I tend to shut people out and isolate myself because I don't want to project my negativity and my anger and my frustration and my sadness onto the people around me. So I tend to shut down and hold things in and just try to process it myself. But if you're somebody that, you know, wants to reach out for help, definitely do that. I've been in therapy since the start of the year, and it's been amazing. Like, I don't know where I would be if I wasn't. So now I'm going to start building up these greens. I'm mainly going to focus on Potion because it's giving me that olive green vibe that I'm looking for. And we also have Inside Job, which is a really dark green as well. So I'm just going to work on using this smaller brush just because I don't want to put too much in. I really want to get Lunar Beauty's Moon Spell palette. So if you have that, let me know. I have the blush palette, but I don't have any eyeshadow palette, so I'm curious about that because, like, that palette is literally my vibe. And I think last year when it came out and I wanted it, it was just always sold out. Screw it. I'm just going to put this all the way across my lid. So yeah, if you're struggling a lot with the year, you're definitely not alone. Just make sure that you're taking time for self-care, that you're doing things for yourself, because you can't help others until you help yourself. I try to post a lot of like mental health awareness and like self-care things on my Instagram, like on my stories. So be sure to follow me over there if that's something you're interested in. MakeupByMegB on all my socials. But let's get into the Bachelorette, okay? This is my question for you guys. Once upon a time, I used to do Bachelor and Bachelorette and Bachelor in Paradise recaps on my channel, and I just stopped a little, like I think it was like a year ago. I want to say it was Becca the last season that I did. I can't remember if I did another season after hers, because I just couldn't deal with it anymore. And I think a lot of people were getting really frustrated with the franchise. And like, I remember when Peter's season came out, at this point, I was just like over it, honestly. I was like, I really don't want to watch, but I've been watching for years because my mom got me into it. It's my mom's fault. And so I watched the first episode and I could not focus on anything that was happening at all because like mentally I was just over it. And then just, I don't watch it as it's happening, but I am on Twitter. So just reading what people were tweeting about how horrible the season is, I was just like, I don't want to waste my time with this. And then the second episode, I could barely get through it. And then I was just over it. I'm like, I'm not spending 2 hours of my night every week watching this. It was just unwatchable to me, so I stopped. However, I really do like Claire a lot. I liked her on The Bachelor, Winter Games, and Paradise, so I was like, okay, I'll give this a second chance because she's older, because I feel like some of these people on the show are so young that I personally, as someone that's 31, can't deal with it. So I was like, okay, she's older, like I'm interested, like are they gonna have older guys on here? Is it not gonna be so annoying? So I decided to give it a watch. So I definitely have some thoughts on it. All right, my battery died, so that's fun. So The Bachelorette, let's get into it. So what are your thoughts? Because everything seems to be pretty split on whether people love Claire or they cannot stand her. So let me know in the comments where you are with it. Meanwhile, I'm gonna dip into Inside Job to deepen up the outer corner, and then we're gonna go back into the Nikki palette. But the first episode, I feel like there's never really a lot to say the first episode because it's just people introducing themselves and not a lot really ever happens. I thought it was a bit odd, her reaction to seeing Dale. It's like, but I'm trying to not judge too much. So what did you guys think of that she was just like, so like, about it? I heard rumors that they had met up and started actually talking during quarantine, which is weird because I thought she said, oh my God, what was that guy's name? The other guy, the one with the beard that she kissed first. Why can't I remember his name? I thought he was the one that reached out to her and was talking to her, and she said no one else did. So yeah, the lies apparently. Also, I try to keep things pretty spoiler free, so if it's not like common knowledge that was like leaked out to the media, I try not to ruin the show for other people in my videos. But it was already announced that Claire's season is getting cut short and that Tayshia is gonna end up taking over, which I am so obsessed with her. I'm like so excited. I meant to say like I'm so excited. I'm obsessed with her. I was a huge fan of her on her season. As you guys know, if you were watching my recaps back then, and I loved her on Paradise, and I really did want her to be the next Bachelorette. So I'm excited that she's getting her chance to do that. I can't wait. And it's just, I don't know, the second episode with Claire, right? So the first group date, they go over love languages, which is cute. Like, it's important to know your partner's love language and them to know yours and to understand like how to fulfill each other's needs. So, I didn't like the execution of it. I think it would have been, like, if I were Claire, I would want to know what their love languages are instead of just having them act out every single one. Yeah, I don't know. I felt like these speeches that Dale keeps giving are just like really weird, but obviously she's eating it up, so I guess that's all that matters. And then the second date was sexual harassment. Oh my God, this dodgeball date, I couldn't deal with it. It's your typical bachelor date, like no really big surprise there, but it's just like, can you imagine, and this is like what a lot of people were saying, if the roles were reversed and it was a guy telling a girl to like take her clothes off and like strip down, like whatever. I guess asking them to take their shirts off is one thing, even though I still think it's a little But to sit there and be like, you have to strip down all the way naked, it's just like, dude, these guys do not seem like they're consenting with that. Like, control your hormones a little bit, you know? So that was a little bit uncomfortable, and everybody that was on Claire's side of things seemed to think that the one guy who wasn't even on the date that had a lot to say about it should have shut his mouth because he wasn't even there, blah, blah, blah. It's just like, well, I would have an opinion, that's for sure. If I was there or not there, I'd still have an opinion on it. So what were your thoughts on that? And I also felt like her one-on-one with Jason, I believe his name is, like, I didn't take notes because I was like, didn't think I'd be doing recaps. So, you know, if I continue to do recaps, it'll be a lot more organized than this. But her her episode or her date with Jason, this coffee is like taking over my brain. It was like a therapy session, which, I mean, I think it's a cool thing to do. Don't get me wrong. Like, I know a lot of people were criticizing and making fun of like the letter to your younger self. I think that that's a cute thing to do. And like the whole like screaming out your anger, like that's all cute and all, but like not for a first date. Like that's so invasive to me. Like it's clear that this man has been through some very traumatic things, and he's clearly not comfortable talking about it. And it's like, not only that, it's your first date, and then it's like you're also on national television, like, and they want you to exploit your childhood traumas. So that kind of rubbed me the wrong way. It kind of felt like she didn't really want to take no as an answer. It didn't really seem to respect his boundaries that he was trying to set with that. So that bothered me and rubbed me the wrong way. Like, I could see maybe further down the season doing a date like that, but it being the first date and then just expecting someone to air that out on national television when they don't even know you is just like... This is why I stopped watching the show, okay? Because I know it's not all Claire, it's the producers. Like, they're just as much the problem as The Bachelor or The Bachelorette. So that was my take on it. So I guess I hated the second episode a lot more than I thought I did now that I'm saying it all out loud. Oh my God, I don't know. I still don't have like a solid opinion on Claire, if I like her or not. Right now I'm kind of like teetering on the so I think after this third episode I'm gonna have more of a solid opinion on her. One thing that I will say, I guess in Claire's defense, is that I felt like a lot of people were criticizing her for being upset that none of the guys like hopped up to go steal her away, which was very odd because I think we see in so many seasons that like I know I get annoyed with is like the constant interrupting. So like I appreciate that we're not really seeing a whole lot of that right now, but it's like I also feel like a lot of these guys aren't like super into her. Like, does anyone else get that feeling? Like maybe they can pick up that she's not really into them if she has her sights set on Dale. But like, what are your thoughts on the whole like no one stepping up to the plate thing? I also feel like they were trying to be polite. Oh my God, my nose always itches so much when I wear makeup and I end up rubbing it off. So what I'm going to do is dip into All In because it has a green shift and a little bit of underground, and just add some sparkle to this. Although, you know, it's also kind of a moment matte, but not about that life today. So what are your thoughts on it? I kind of play like devil advocate, like let's look at this from all angles kind of thing. I'm also going to dip into Mr. Tutorials a little bit too. Just layer on the sparkle. So for me, I'm just like, okay, maybe the guys were trying to be polite and make sure she was done giving her speech, doing what she has to do, and like they didn't want to interrupt her. So that was my thought. But she was obviously very offended by it, and I just feel like it was an awkward moment where maybe they didn't know, is it time to start asking to like, you know, sneak her away? Like, does she have more to say? That was kind of my thought on it, so I'm trying to give them the benefit of the doubt. It's like that, or like a lot of people are saying they don't actually like her. So what are your thoughts on all of that, on that situation? I would love to know. And like I said a minute ago, I was like, I'll have like my, you know, overall opinion of her by the 3rd episode. But I also heard like she's only in 3 episodes. In the 3rd episode, she leaves. So I don't really know what's happening or going on. I just know a lot of people are like, where's Tayshia? Let's get her season started. But what are your opinions with that? How do you think that transition is going to work? Do you think that they're going to bring in some of the, like, this guys that were eliminated? Do you think they're going to bring in new guys? Do you think like the entire cast? Like, I don't think they're going to redo the whole cast because of the whole quarantine thing. So what are your guys' thoughts and opinions on this whole Bachelorette situation? Let me know in the comments down below. And again, let me know if you guys are interested in me doing full episode recaps and chats, because I will be glad to do that. And I would actually put them up at the end of the week because I know not everyone, myself included, watches live on Mondays. So I'm thinking I would upload my recaps on Fridays just to make sure everyone has had enough time to watch the episode. So let me know your thoughts. I am digging this. I think I'm about done with the eyes. What I'm actually going to do is take my brown liquid liner by House Laboratories. I liked this, but because it's a felt tip and not a bristle tip, like seconds after you start using it, the liner doesn't go down in the tip anymore, even if you shake it a lot. So it's kind of frustrating to use. So I would just try to find one with a brush tip. Obviously the KVD one is really good, but I didn't want to support that brand for obvious reasons for a couple of years. But now that Kat Von D isn't a part of that brand anymore, that might be my next liquid liner purchase. So if you have a liquid liner that you like a lot that's a brush tip, let me know in the comments. So in other exciting news, Joe and I, Joe's my husband, we bought a new couch and I'm so freaking excited for it. So it's gonna be delivered next week and I cannot freaking wait. So for blush, I'm dipping into my Moon Prism by Lunar Beauty. I feel like this always happens. I'm like, I need caffeine so I can wake up and film a video, and then it's like the caffeine just surges straight to my brain and then I'm all over the place. ADHD problem. So I'm actually going to take the shade Spacey because it's a little bit more of like fall vibes, not as bright and in your face. So I'm going to take just a little bit of that. These blushes, the pigment is there. And I'm going to start applying this on the upper part of my cheekbones to help with that lifted look. And I just don't want a lot of blush on my actual apples of the cheek because I feel like that's a very much summer and spring moment. Maybe even for winter. Make it look like you have a little bit of cold on your nose. I don't know. I am so not a blush person. So I didn't really have any blush and I got this palette and I freaking love it. So I highly recommend it. Like I said, I really want to try the Moonspell palette and some of his other eyeshadow palettes. There's just so many makeup products and not enough money. So let me know, what are some makeup products that you've been liking a lot down below that maybe I need to check out. I still want to purchase some Rare Beauty foundation and concealer. I also want the liquid blush and the liquid highlighter, but I'm waiting until I run out of products before I run out to purchase those. So in the next couple of months, there will probably be a review for that. But yes, I got sidetracked about my couch. I am so excited. My husband and I purchased a couch years ago when we were still living in an apartment. So it's super small. It really only fits the two of us. And it was a cheap $350 couch. So as you can imagine, it did not last. It broke down really quickly. And I have really bad, severe back pain. And that couch is not helping my situation. So I am so excited to get an actual real couch that's good quality and that hopefully lasts a while. Does anyone else just get to that point in makeup where they're over it? That's always me with lips because I never know what to do. I'm not a lip person. This is just a nude sticks pencil in the shade Whisper. I like it a lot. And let me tell you, furniture ain't cheap. Like, I just don't understand why it's so damn expensive. It's enough to give me a freaking anxiety attack. I'm gonna top that with Starlight Lip Gloss from Lunar Beauty. You get a lot of gloss that comes out, and I have tiny ass lips, so I have to scrape most of it off. I really do like Manny's lip glosses a lot too. There we go. So I'm going to go ahead and pop some mascara on so this look can be done. Okay, so here is the finished look. I don't love wearing falsies on a daily basis, so that's why I never really wear them. I feel like most people don't wear falsies every day. Comment down below if you do. I'm curious. I feel like most people don't. But I really like how this look turned out. I think it turned out great. As far as the palettes go, I love the Nikki palette. It's amazing. The formulation is chef's kiss. As far as the Jaclyn palette goes, I feel like we've all been on that journey. It's not terrible. It's not the worst eyeshadow that I've ever used before, but I feel like her original collab with Morphe, her OG palette, set the bar really high in the makeup industry when it first came out. And I feel like as consumers, we were just disappointed that the mini palettes were not the same standard of quality as original palette. I feel like there's arguments that it's the same formula, but it's not the same. It's just, it just wasn't as good. So it's not a terrible palette. I actually really do like the color story of the Dark Magic palette. I love cool tones. I love blues, greens, purples, especially for this time of year. I just feel like there's better formulation out there. It's not the worst. So yeah, maybe if you have those palettes laying around, maybe this inspired you to pull them out and use them. So with that being said, thank you so much for taking the time out of your day to hang out with me. I hope you guys liked it. I do want to try the one dip makeup challenge, so that could be coming soon. Like I said, the Scorpio video definitely coming out next week. So let me know what other kind of content you would like to see on my channel. I love to hear from you guys. But yes, thank you so much for taking the time out of your day to hang out with me. I appreciate it. Don't forget to subscribe on your way out if you aren't yet already. And I will see you in the next one. Bye, everyone.